Hello and welcome. In this video I'll be taking a look at the latest version of the IDF mods project F-16 Indigo Sufa, which has now been upgraded to version 1.2. Now I'll give you a link of where you can download that from as usual in the description. What will happen is once you've downloaded it you'll get this RAR file. What I normally do is drag that out onto the desktop so that I don't do anything within the RAR, and then open up and install from here. So we get an F-16 Indigo Sufa mod.exe and we get the Spice 2000 mod.exe. Now with the previous variant of this mod, it overwrote the Eagle Dynamics F-16C. That now has changed so that you can still use the C variant as well as having the Sufa installed now. But because I work with so many different mods, I have a different way of installing it, and I thought I'd share that just in case you wanted to use this method. With the Spice 2000, just go ahead and install that into the core mods and just let it do its thing. But with the F-16 Sufa.exe, if you don't install it straight to the core mods and install it to the desktop like I have, you'll have two folders, obviously the Sufa and the Spice 2000. Now in using a JSGME mod enabler for DCS, I have the F-16 Indigo Sufa mod installed through the mod enabler. But the Spice 2000, once I put that through the mod enabler, it clashed with the Sufa mod. So what I've done is I've installed that straight into the core mods, and then I've put this into the external mods, which is the folder that this reads from, and I've installed that into there, and then enabled it so it goes across from the available mods into activated. So Sufa mod is enabled and Spice 2000 is actually in the core mods, ready to go, because really that shouldn't clash with anything that's already in there. So if you feel that that would be a better way for you to install the mod, that's just a sort of a heads up that I was going to give you, saving installing it, and then if you wanted to swap it out for something else, you wouldn't have to clean up the install file. You could just go straight into it, disable the mod, and there you go, you're back to without it being installed. But as this is a review for the latest update, I will enable that again and then get into DCS. Right, so I've got one already on the ground at Kerbaleti, and we'll go into the mission editor configuration, and as you can see there are some new additions to the flight model and to the configuration. Mainly these three sections here have been included, so that you can now have weapons covers for the Spice on either pylon 4 or 6 individually, or on 4 and 6 respectively, like I have there. And these are for the Python 5s, again for 2 and 8, or 2 and 8 as I've got there. You can have the RBF tags and the engine covers on, and you obviously have the crew ladders from the last variant of the update. And this is what it looks like with all the gear attached. You've got the RBF flags, intake covers, sensor covers, and obviously the Spice 2000 and Python 5 covers, and the ladders there. So around the back here, obviously remove before flight, and then if we go on the inside, we've got the HUD cover and the ladders also on the side there, front and back. But what you will need to do, what you will need to remember to do, is to actually remove these before you taxi out, otherwise you will end up flying with them. And obviously you can only talk to the ground crew when you're sat on the ground not moving. So yeah, before you taxi, just remember your go into the configurator and just remove those. But yeah, it really does look the part. Very nicely done, and those enhanced textures look awesome. And port numbers look good. Yeah, and that Spice 2000 looks like a hell of a bomb. I mean, the Mark 84 is big enough as it is, but with that leading forward section extension there, Jesus, I mean, that's quite the weapon. So yeah, there you go. That's what it looks like with all the covers and stuff on. So yeah, just remember to remove those. There have been upgrades to the liveries, enhanced textures. The port numbers show up as gold. Apparently not in the mission editor, but I can clearly see that as a reflective gold colour there. Yeah, so yeah, that seems to be working. And as well as there have been enhancements to the afterburner and accuracy and performance of the Python 5, and the inclusion of the Spice 2000 here, which is essentially a Mark 84 with a electro-optical kit on the front with wings basically to make it glide. And I think that's it for I think that's it for the update. So I'm just going through the patch notes. So yeah, quite a few improvements, and now that you can have this as well as the Charlie variant is a big plus for this mod, because that was one of the things that was a bit of a turn off in the previous variant, being only able to use the Charlie or the Indigo, not both together. You do get some other textures, just ignore the PR wipeout and these ones here. I have come across a no conformal fuel tank texture here. I'm not sure if that's actually part of the IDF projects, mods project mod or not, but that's the first time I've seen that. I know the conformal fuel tanks are removable, no matter what anybody says. They are not part of the fuselage. They can be taken off and put on at will. So yeah, I thought I'd point that one out just in case that has been included in the mod but not shown. So yeah, just go through a couple of other things. Obviously Python 5's absolutely awesome missile, but can now be carried on pylons 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. So you can really have some fun with close in, well, not so close in dogfighting, or you don't even have to be dogfighting. If you're in a merge, you can fire one off. I proved that in the last video. But anyway, yeah, so you've got the Spice 2000s as well, and these are simply as I've got another one set up down here. What you do is obviously you have your targets, and these are dropped via steer points. So wherever the steer point is where the Spice 2000 will drop. And as I've got two Spice 2000s, I've put two markers on there just to show you how to drop those. And I've got another one set up over here. I want to merge with the MiG-29 to show you the Python 5. So we'll jump into the air-to-ground Spice 2000 variant before jumping into the Python 5, and that will probably conclude the video for this version. So yeah, let's jump in the cockpit. Okay, so we're heading in on the targets, and we want to go to air-to-ground mode, and we want to power up, and basically follow this line to the first steer point. What I'll do is that what will happen is this line will drop. You hold and press the pickle button, and when the timing's right, the computer will release the first Spice 2000, and then I'll quickly flick over to the next steer point, and then we'll do the same again. Just keep that nice and straight. Okay, just waiting for that indicator to go. Here we go. Hold and press the pickle button. There goes one. Level off. There goes the other one. Let's see how they fly to their target. You can see them lock on to their target in a second. And there we go. We've got a lock. Boom. And obviously the other one hit too. Getting both of the targets as well, because obviously they are 2,000 pounders, and a lot of collateral damage involved in that one. So yeah, we'll jump into the air-to-air setup that I've got. I'll show you the Python 5s up against the MiG-29. Right, so I've got the MiG-29 at my 12 o'clock. He's coming in hot, and my aim is to try and get a Python 5 off the rail and get him as we're going into the merge, just to show you the Python 5's extremely awesome magic trick. So let's hope it plays ball. So we'll get out of pause. Alright, he's dumped his fuel tank, so it means business. Okay, we've got one arching. And boom, there we go. God, I love that missile. Fantastic. So, as you can see, no living person inside the missile, so it can pull extreme Gs, eye-wateringly extreme Gs. I'm surprised, to be honest, the experiment that I've done, I'm surprised the thing doesn't just rip itself to bits chasing after its target. But there you go, that's the Python 5, and that's a dead MiG-29. So yeah, gonna have some fun with that. So yeah, and like I said at the beginning of the video, you don't need to worry about the mod overwriting the main F-16. Obviously, if you've paid quite a bit of money for that, you don't want to lose access to it for a mod. So IDF mods project have done very well in going the same way as LaHack went by making it just an addition rather than just a full-on singular mod in itself. So I hope the video has been of help. I hope it's been of interest. If I've earned your subscription, please do it, and as always, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.